bring you one. Please join us in singing Spirit of the Atman.
I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal love. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will forever, ever and ever. I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal mind. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will forever, ever and ever. I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal mind. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will forever, ever and ever. I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal mind. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will forever, ever and ever. I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal mind. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will forever, ever and ever. I am the Spirit of the Atman, a free-flowing channel of the universal mind. I am pure love, light, and prana, and I will live forever, ever and ever, ever and ever, ever and ever. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve and Mirabai.
Mirabai.
Mirabai. Sorry. And good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name is Carolyn Jansen.
My name is Carl. Welcome to our service. We have a number of things to celebrate today. First off, it's Father's Day. And
Yay.
We'll do a little Father's Day blessing a little later on in the service. As a Swedish-American background, I would like to say Glad Midsummer, which is kind of a Swedish way of saying happy summer solstice. Carol and I celebrated way into the night with all of our Swedish friends last night. And it is Juneteenth. And I want to say something real quick about it. Zula's going to give us a nice reading and prayer a little later on. If you don't know about it, in Texas, slaves were not emancipated till 2 years almost after the Emancipation Proclamation, when slaves were ostensibly freed in the other southern states. And so when that came about, there's this mixed feeling of, yeah, we're free finally, but goodness gracious, 2 years of purposely keeping us in this horrible slavery so it's a mixed thing, and I think what Zula's going to read is going to encompass that really well for us. And it is now a national holiday. It was made, I think it was last year, it was made a national holiday. Please join us in turning to the camera and waving to the folks at home. Hi there. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and thank you for joining us. We really appreciate having all of you there, and I know there's a number of you out there.
And please join me in welcoming our great musicians, Heart Dream. And we're joined by Melissa Olson on keyboard and Larry Curtin on drums. Thank you so much for sharing your music with us today.
Reverend Kristen will deliver today's message, and the message is titled, Manifested in His Eyes.
And before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to silent as we enjoy this sacred time together.
And now let's take a moment to be grateful for the land that our center rests upon. This is Ohlone, Bay Miwok, and Yukot's land.
We honor its ancestry, and we're grateful for those who came before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred native grounds and Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living, and our vision for the world is we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
We envision a spiritually awakened world. Our mission is who we've come here to be. Let's say that together. We are loving community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all. Our core values are love, connection, service, and wisdom.
If you are with us for the first time, welcome. We hope you'll feel free to raise your hand so we may acknowledge you. Yep. Please visit our bookstore across the patio after service to receive a welcome packet. If you are new and didn't raise your hand, and that's fine. If you need help in receiving this or in guiding there, just ask an usher.
Connection cards are available in the newcomer welcome packets and inside the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone, and with this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray for you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information, so please place your card along with the offering later in the service. For those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watts Live page on our website.
Please consider comfort levels when greeting one another, hugging before and after services. We welcome you to socialize on the patio. We hope you'll join us and have time to visit and also visit the bookstore.
Our campus is open for on-site classes and groups. Masking is still optional, although we recommend masking indoors and require it while singing. If you need a mask, raise your hand and our ushers will bring one to you. We have a couple of activities to highlight this week.
How many of you ever have a little voice in your head that is very judgmental? Yeah. In the coaching world, we sometimes call those gremlins. Well, learn to defend yourself against self-judgment in the Taming the Inner Critic workshop on Sunday, June 26th at 2 p.m. Ernie Isaacs will give us tools to disengage from the critic.
Purely, that dog has a critic that's really not wanting to leave.
And will teach us ways we can defend ourselves from its attacks, release it once and for all, and achieve greater happiness. Please sign up at the bookstore.
Or on our website. Live on the Lawn is back.
Yay!
Hurrah!
Yay.
So you can kick off your shoes and enjoy a picnic on the lawn and join us for Unity's first summer fundraising event on July 8th. It's a Friday. We're excited to feature award-winning fingerstyle guitars, and you're going to see something amazing, and singer-songwriter Christy Lene. Here's a sample of her amazing musicality.
Travel the world with heart wide open, and still I barely scratched the surface. From cobblestones to Copper Mountain, learning the language of my spirit's wish.
As I said to Steve, playing a guitar is difficult enough for me to think about. What she's doing is like two people playing the same guitar at the same time, it feels like.
Yeah.
Excellent. People are really excited about having her come. Before the concert, you can enjoy an art and craft fair, a wine pull and drinks. Purchase your tickets and optional boxed dinners in the bookstore, again, or on our website. We would love to have your help to make this more special. We need volunteers and also donations. If you have art or crafts or a service you'd like to donate to help raise funds, please visit our table, which is on the patio after the service.
You may also wish to discuss the Sunday messages and more with your community on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. at the weekly spiritual growth circles. We meet in person in the sanctuary on the first and third Tuesdays. That's this coming Tuesday, and also on Zoom on the second and fourth and fifth Wednesdays.
Please see our website again for details on this and all events.
As we prepare for our time of meditation, please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We begin with a reading followed by music, guided meditation, and silence.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm Zula Michelle Reeves, and I want to take this opportunity to thank my father, who I just got to visit for 3 months. My parents live back east, and I got the opportunity to say thank you to him and to tell him how much I appreciate him. He gave 20 plus years to this country to serve in the Army, and it meant a lot to me because I'm the oldest of 4, and I didn't grow up seeing him, spending that much time with him because he was away fighting wherever he was fighting. So I just want to say that out loud. Today is June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, and thank you for that explanation. Many people do not know what it is. It is a bittersweet celebration. Bitter as it acknowledges the pain of slavery and the delayed freedom of those held in bondage for years beyond the date of their emancipation. And sweet as it is a day of liberation and celebration, sometimes known as Freedom Day. As American author Emma Lazarus said, "Until we are all free, we are none of us free." This is a prayer for Juneteenth by Reverend Sterling Morse. Thankfully, we praise you, O God, for your liberating power that broke shackles of oppression and restored humanity to the disenfranchised, makes us instruments of grace to resist slavery in all manifestations, that no soul shall be denied the right to thrive and fully realize their divine purpose in you. And so it is.
Be still and know I am God. Be still.
We consciously allow ourselves now to enter that space of beingness. A place where there is nothing to do and nowhere to go. A place of utter stillness. The still waters within us run deep, deep into the heart of God itself, deep into the heart of the I am that is the truth of our being. And as you ground yourself here now in that deep place within the heart, from here with the eyes of God looking around you, you can see the beautiful waters reflecting the truth of who you are. I am peace. I am stillness. I am the calm amidst any storm. I am deep, abiding love. Be still and know that I am. I remember these truths now. I am that I am, the infinite I am. I am the very essence of the divine. I am the presence and the power, and I am comforted by the presence and the power at the same time. Be still and know, receive and become in the silence. Out of even these few moments of stillness, arises a truth, a knowing, a remembrance that I am. I am one with the very essence of love and peace and joy. I am the very light upon the universe. And I receive whatever I need to restore my soul, to refill, to be all that I am. In this knowingness of who I am, I receive, and every need is fulfilled. And so wherever there is hurt, now there is healing. Wherever there is uncertainty, now there is faith and trust and confidence. For I have reconnected with the truth that I am in the stillness. And so it is.
Be still and know I am God. Be still and know I am God. Traveling through the forest, your harmony reigns. Father, divine spirit, across the loves of plains. In the heart of the mountains, power to realize dreams. Source of sacred river, tears of knowing stream. Discovering the wholeness nature's healing web shows. Generations together, sacred joy the soul knows. In the heart of the mountains, power to realize dreams. Source of sacred river, tears of knowing stream. Ascending peak of enlightenment, blending the head and the heart. Forever affirming our hopes and dreams, where beginning and end start. In the heart of the mountains, power to realize dreams. Source of
Thank you, Heart Dream. Welcome back. I was just looking around and thinking about how amazing it is, spiritual community. What a beautiful thing it is. Do you ever think about that? You know, Mirabai and Steve have been doing music for Unity of Walnut Creek for decades. Yeah. Larry's been our sound person. He's our drummer. Melissa's a little newer to us, but it just, you know, it's such a beautiful, heartwarming thing to be able to offer a place where people can gather and feel connected and feel inspired and feel reminded and feel uplifted and feel whatever they need, right? Whatever you need is here for you today. Healing, transformation, encouragement, friendship. And to all of you online too, you're part of our big community. So welcome. Thank you for being here with us. All of you outside. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm going to impersonate somebody and see if you could guess who it is. Good morning, Unity. I needed a presence. Richard Flonder, our board president today, he's been in the hospital since last Sunday with a foot infection. And on Friday, he sent me this message with a beautiful picture of the mountains. And he said, "This is my view from my room." And he said, "Warriors won, infection losing." Yay, Richard. We celebrate with you. We continue to send prayers to you and Michelle. And our plan is, and hopefully the doctor's plan too, is he's being discharged tomorrow. Yeah. So happy Father's Day. All of you in the room who are fathers, we want to bless you. And let me just give a little disclaimer before we go there. Not disclaimer, an inclusionary statement, I should say. Yeah, no disclaimers. If you identify as a father because you're a biological father, because you're an adoptive father, because you're a father figure or a mentor, whether you were male or not male, I want to invite you to stand so we can bless you and wish you a happy Father's Day. All right, let's give them our best unity blessing. Together, fathers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A father is neither an anchor to hold us back, nor a sail to take us there, but a guiding light whose love shows us the way. I don't know who to credit with that. It's an anonymous quote, but it's beautiful, isn't it? So Susan Angelos does our Centerpoint Weekly every week, and she finds the most spot-on quotes. I don't know if you've noticed this. And it's called Centerpoint Weekly. So it's like every quote centers us. It is right on point. I just think, well, true to its name, right? Over and over again. So big thanks to you, Susan, for providing us that every week. Yeah. Takes a village, doesn't it? So the quote, I feel like, is embodied by two fathers' stories that I'd like to highlight this morning. And the first one is the story of Ray Kimbrell. Ray was a proud U.S. Marine. And we often, or I often, and probably you do too, when we think of soldiers, you might think of people who sacrifice, right? Or who are willing to sacrifice, right? Willing to make sacrifices in their life, or maybe even to sacrifice their very life for their country, for its well-being, for its protection, for whatever is deemed necessary. But Ray didn't see it like that. He saw being a Marine as a privilege. He did not see it in any way as a sacrifice. He was a commander in Operation Desert Storm. He was a leader of troops that went into Somalia and at a time was basically a humanitarian mission to deliver food to starving people, to rebuild roads, to stop warring factions by disarming them. And it was this kind of thing that made him feel alive and on purpose. It was his entire life. Even his wife, Nancy, is a Marine. or was a Marine. And so their friends were Marines. They lived, breathed, slept the Marines, right? You get the idea. He called himself a lifer until their son was born. And Ray says this, that my knees buckled when I saw our son Patrick for the very first time. I was love-struck. Patrick did not develop as most children do. He was diagnosed after a little while with cerebral palsy. And shortly after his diagnosis, Nancy had a mild stroke and was medically discharged from the Marines. Ray realized he had to shift his focus. A sadness would come over him when he was looking out the window and he would see the troops mobilizing for their next mission, a kind of nostalgic longing for what he loved. But he realized that something else was calling him and that his new life mission was his devotion to fatherhood. So Nancy and Ray both got jobs on opposing shifts so that they could give Patrick everything he needed, all the occupational therapy, all the physical therapy, all the care that it took to really help their son progress. And in time, he started speaking, and Ray was there on the day he began to take his first very slow, shaky, unsteady steps without the aid of a walker. So they never held him back either. They went on to have two more children, 2 daughters, and everything that the family did, all the activities, Patrick was not left behind. So even though he still needed a wheelchair to go more distance, they made it work. So one day, Ray and Patrick were out on a hike with a whole classroom full of 10-year-olds. And they came out of the woods and they came to this place where it was all water. And the teacher said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not know there wasn't a bridge." And there was no way to get Patrick's wheeled, across this water. So Ray began to look at it, and he noticed that there were these cement pillars all along the river's edge. And it reminded him of something. It reminded him of a confidence course he did as a Marine. And he immediately hoisted Patrick up on his shoulders, and he began to cross those pillars and said, "Come on, kids, we're going across on this mission." And he said about halfway through, Patrick started laughing, and his laughter echoed across the lake. And Ray said it was the sweetest sound he had ever heard. And in that moment, he thought, God had a plan for me all along. The Marines were just a part of it, and it was training for the most important duty of my life, to be a father. Ray's story can remind us that sometimes we might think we have to make some sacrifice in our life. But often when we do feel like there's something we're giving up, another door opens. That a part of one door closing, even though it may hurt us or make us sad, is an opening. Even a challenge that comes our way in life that we at the onset might say, there can't possibly be a blessing in here, right? This is terrible news, or whatever it is, however that initial reaction is. If we hold tight, if we trust, if we're willing to take that first step in and to meet whatever it is that is before us, we'll find those blessings begin to unfold. A sense of a bigger plan begins to unravel for us and to show itself. So whatever challenges might be present for you in your life right now, I want to encourage you to know and to consider how Ray reacted, to just meet what is before you and to have a sense of presence about it, to respond to it in love and see what unfolds for you from there. Spiritual growth is inevitable, isn't it? It's present in our lives no matter what. No matter whether we notice it or recognize it, no matter we see it in a blessing or an opportunity or a challenge, whatever it may be that is here for us. But it is here for us. I often quote Maya Angelou, who says, "Thank you. Say thank you. No matter what happens, say thank you first." So let that be your first reaction. Thank you. And sometimes that's hard to do, right? But if we can find that in ourselves, it begins to stir and cultivate that foundation of faith and to help us then see the light and walk into it. So joy and fulfillment, purpose, it can all be a part of what opens up if we can get past that initial seeing of just a problem, just a block, just an issue before us. If we meet it with a devoted heart, like this father did, you never know what will happen. Beautiful connections, your heart breaking open, love struck, right? In whatever ways that might show up for you. Spiritual breakthroughs, a sense of purpose that might unfold for you. You won't know until you step in. Have you ever heard of Bobby Flay? Anybody know who that is? Oh, lots and lots of nods and hands. Okay, I apparently was not in the know until yesterday. I'm not a watcher of the Food Network. That's probably why. Because if you've heard of Bobby Flay, you might be somebody who tunes into his celebrity on the Food Network. He's an executive chef. He's an owner of several restaurants and franchises, and he's won lots of awards for his work on the Food Network as well. And we can thank his father for that. We can thank his father for cultivating his potential. We wouldn't have Bobby Flay, the chef, if we didn't have the father behind him. So let me tell you a little bit about his story. When Bobby was 17, he liked hanging out with his buddies on the street corner in the Upper East Side of Manhattan where he grew up. He said he just enjoyed shooting the breeze. He was a high school dropout, and all he really imagined for his life is exactly what he did every day, hang out with his friends on the corner and shoot the breeze. But somebody, he said, had other plans for me. So one day he was just hanging out in his house, watching TV, doing nothing much, and the phone rings, and it's his father. And he says, "Come to my office now, we need to talk about your life." That was pretty direct, right? So Bobby said, "I kind of feel like I'm going to the principal's office, and my dad's kind of scholarly, so I'm not really sure how this is going to play out, you know?" So he shows up at his dad's office, and his dad says, "Look, this is not a life. You need to get a job." And so he has Bobby promise that he's going to go look for a job. Well, Bobby didn't really look much for a job that day, but he did agree he would try. The next day, though, as it turns out, his father was a partner in a restaurant, and the busboy had to leave for 2 weeks, and they were in a scramble to try to fill the position. So his father calls and said, "Hey, I need you to fill in for the busboy just for 2 weeks." And he says, "And no special treatment. You just need to show up and do your job." So Bobby says, "Okay, I can do it." So he shows up, he does this, his 2 weeks are up, and he's wandering off outside the restaurant, and the chef pokes his head out and says, "Hey, Bobby, come here. Can you help me in the kitchen and wash some dishes and stock some things in the pantry?" So Bobby goes in, and then over time, pretty soon, he's introduced to using a knife and chopping a salad. And he's kind of interested in it. Kinda, sorta. He'd maybe rather be hanging with his friends, but it's kind of interesting. And he's not minding getting a little money. And he said, "One day something just shifted for me. And I woke up and I opened my eyes and I looked at the ceiling and I went, oh my gosh, I'm excited to go to work today." Because he was beginning to develop some skill and it was engaging him. And he was beginning to wonder about what he might do. So his father and the partner, Joe, call him into the office that day or a few days later. And they say, "Hey, there's this new school opening up in New York, the French Culinary Institute. Do you think you'd like to go?" Well, he didn't really feel worthy, so he was having his own internal struggle. And they really encouraged him, so he decided to give it a try. He got his high school equivalency. He went. It was just like a 6-month program, immersive program. And when he came out, he was so excited to go back to the restaurant and show off his skills, right? That same restaurant. So he walks in and he's like, "Okay, I'm ready. Can you put me to work?" And they say, "Get out of here. You don't have anything more to learn here." He's like, "Oh my goodness, what do I do now?" So that's when he went out pounding the pavement. He found a job. He got a job as a sous chef. He shows up on his first day of work, super proud of himself. He's on time. It's 8 o'clock. Because a lot of times his dad would stand there and look at his watch when Bobby came in late, you know. So he comes in, and the staff is already in a tizzy. It's 8 a.m. in a restaurant, and the staff is scrambling around, and he says, "What's going on?" And they said that the head chef was found passed out in the kitchen, drunk. Can you be our head chef? And nervous as he was, instant promotion. He became the head chef of that restaurant, and really the rest is history. He fell in love. Those steps pushed him toward his passion for food, and he fell in love with that work, and now owns many restaurants and so on. His first restaurant, he asked his dad to go look for a property with him, and then another restaurant owner asked Bobby to go into partnership, and his dad was really relieved and just said, "Let's just be father and son. You go partner with that guy." And so today, he does these amazing giving back kinds of things. He goes to the vocational high school in Queens, and he teaches these young people, he shares his passion for cooking, and he teaches and mentors them. And he says, these kids, he goes, so many of them are just like I was, directionless, insecure, feeling unworthy, having not a clue about what they want to do in their lives. And that same French Culinary Institute that Bobby got his start at gives scholarships to some of these kids. So you see that beautiful cycle of prosperity, that multiplying prosperity that happens when one person gives us a nudge, when one person mentors us, says, "I see the potential in you." And then we are able to kind of get on board with it slowly but surely. Maybe I do have something to offer. And it doesn't always have to be a person outside of us. I think that's really the beauty of this story, is that Bobby's father really acts very much like the innate divinity within us. That's the good news, because I know a lot of us, when it comes around to Father's Day, maybe feel kind of sad, like we didn't have a father present in our lives, or we didn't have a kind of positive influence in our fathers. And yet, here's the good news, we all have it within us. We all have that innate kind of father energy that is there for us, cheerleading and goading us on, encouraging us, nudging us, sometimes giving us really clear direction, right? And so sometimes it's sort of hands off, and it's like, make your own choices, make your own decisions. I'm kind of here. I'm stepping back. I'm a presence that is watching over. I am a presence that is in you. I am a presence that is around you, and you must make your own choices. But that is available to us. That energy, that power is available to us. We all have an ideal inner father, a wise and loving constant presence. It is our conscience and our consciousness. It is the great I am of our being. It is the wisdom that is available to us, the insight, the innate knowing. It is the devotional love that is also in us. And we all have that same gift. Do you know that God, the very essence of the universe, loves you? That you are loved purely, completely, unconditionally. Do you feel that? Sometimes, más o menos, sometimes not, right? But yet it's there, right? It's there for us always. It's always there for us. It's about us opening our hearts. It's about us trying on the possibility. Like Bobby in that moment when he felt like he had this golden opportunity in front of him, but maybe I'm not worthy of it. We have this love for us, always available to us. And maybe there's a little bit of feeling of I'm not worthy that doesn't allow us to put our arms around it or to open our arms to receive it or to allow it to flow through us. And yet it is there for us. And yet we are loved so deeply, so unconditionally. No strings. Nothing you got to do. No fancy dances you got to do for the divine. You are just loved because you are. It's powerful knowing, isn't it? And to receive it, what bliss. God rallies for our every need, for our every desire, for our every hope, for our every dream, for our every joy to be realized. It's an energy. It's not a person. It's an energy, but it's embodied in people, right? It's embodied in the resources of our lives. It's embodied in our dogs. You know, I've just suddenly popped in, the craziest things pop in the middle of my talking to you all. A little plaque I gave Brenly that says, I want to be the person my dog thinks I am. It's kind of the same, right? I want to be the person my God thinks I am. Dog and God, you can flip them back and forth, right? Jeremiah 1 says this, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. And before you were born, I consecrated you. And both Luke and Matthew, this is so intriguing to me, that two canonized gospels say the same slightly bizarre but amazing thing, that even the hairs on your head are numbered. Now, there are like 7 billion plus of us, and even the hairs on our head are known deeply and intimately by this being that loves us beyond measure, this presence, this principle, this entity, this existence. It doesn't matter whether you have curly hair or kinky hair or straight hair or dark hair or red hair or blonde hair or white hair or gray hair. It doesn't matter whether you have any hair, really, thick or thin or none at all. Every hair is known. Wow. That is some love. That is some attention. That is some devotion that we have available to us. The divine sees our potential, loves us with this devotion, and sees our potential, holds a space, but already sees us fully realized as divine beings, already sees us in our fullest manifestation. The vision of who we are in our truth as that I am an expression is already seen by the universal entity that is our first principle. God is the isness, the allness of God. It's already known. It's like a blueprint already there for us, a devotional love already available to us. All it takes is us waking up to it, right? Seems like a small thing, doesn't it, when I say it that way? In a way, though, it is. In a way, though, it is a simpleness of just tuning in and waking up and allowing and maybe removing some of the stuff that's in the way and just saying, let me just try it. Let me just try to open my heart and my mind to the possibility that I am loved and paid attention to at this level of detail and devotion and intimacy. Maybe it's possible that there is this allness of the universe that when it beholds me, it is love-struck and speechless, like Ray was when he saw his son Patrick for the first time, this big, tough Marine. Love-struck, speechless you are in the eyes of your God. I just invite you to say that to yourself. My God is love-struck and speechless when God beholds me. Do you allow yourself to be guided? Do you allow yourself to be nudged? And do you allow those insights to arise within you and you follow them? Do you give credence to that wisdom that is in you, that is available to you, that can help you realize the potential knowing of all of this, the potential expression of all of these truths? So today we honor this divine inner Father energy that recognizes our potential, that sees us already as realized, and that loves us beyond measure. And no matter what it is that is stirring in our lives, a dream, a hope, a health challenge, a relationship risk, whatever it is that is there for us, we are fully 100% plus supported. And everything is there for us to say yes, to step in, to follow the nudge, to follow the urge, to say yes to the insight, to say, yes, I've got this inside of me. And I am saying yes to it, and I'm following it, and I'm trusting it, and I'm stepping in. It helps to remember that this divine presence loves us and guides us and sees us already manifested in our potential. It helps me, I hope it helps you, to remember these things. When I was in ministerial school, there was a fatherly figure. As I say it, I recognize that a lot of the faculty when I was in ministerial school kind of had that sort of energy. But Thom was one of the faculty members, and he said something that echoes in my mind a lot still today. He said, this is all you've got to do. I kind of like that when everything gets pared down to, here it is, here's the bottom line, here's the pithy wisdom to take with you. This is all you have to do. Show up, pay attention, respond in love. That has guided me so much through ministry and through life. I think it's the best advice I've ever been given. Show up, pay attention, respond in love. That's it. Done. Yes, yes, yes. We can do this. And just to remember, to allow ourselves to feel it, to allow ourselves to know that the allness of God sees us already in the fullness of who we are in our expression. And our beingness, exactly as we are, is perfect and whole. We are healthy and well in that trueness of our I am nature. That's where we center, right? I am healthy, I am well, I am fulfilled, I am already accomplished, I am exactly where I want to be, and perfect exactly as I am. So what is ours to do from here? Say it with me. Show up, pay attention, respond in love. Let's say our full affirmation together. My potential is manifested in the eyes of the divine. I show up, pay attention, and respond in love. And so it is. Happy Father's Day. Thank you. Yeah. Did you know Bobby Flay?
Our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. If you are a prayer chaplain serving today, please stand. Our prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles. Wonderful. Thank you.
So whether mask on here. So whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness. Thank you all for being here.
Now let us open our hearts to the practice of giving. I invite you to prepare your gifts as we align with the universal law of circulation. As we give, we shall receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature.
For your convenience, there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. In addition to checks and cash, you may download the Give app, use credit or debit card envelopes provided on a clipboard on the back of the chair in front of you, or set up bill pay through your bank. Those of you at home may click on the donate button on the Watch Live page.
I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat our affirmation with me. Together, divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I receive, all that I give. Sorry.
Joy-filled and grateful.
beautiful diamond ring, offered it to the sweetest thing I know.
And I said I would take it.
Started making some wedding plans. She looked at me and she took my hand and said,
Do you think we can make it?
I said, honey, my grandpa's still in love with my grandma. My dad still thinks my mom's the sweetest thing he ever saw. We come from a long line of love. When the times get hard, we don't give up. Forever's in our hearts and in our blood. We come from a long line of love. Years went by and we had a daughter. Now she thinks she's found the one for her. She called me up on the phone today just to hear what I had to say to her. Did I think she was ready? I said my grandpa's still in love with my grandma. It's been handed down for ages. It runs in the family. We come from a long line of love. When the times get hard, we don't give up. Forever's in our hearts and in our blood. We come from a long line of love. Oh yes, we come from a long line of love. When the times get hard, we don't give up. Forever's in our hearts and in our blood. We come from a long line of love. So just remember, we come from a long line of love.
Yeehaw!
Love it. From I Am the Atman to a country love song. You do it all. Let's bless our gifts, giving thanks for our ever increasing, constantly flowing abundance, our goodness, your service. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's bless it together. Together? We give thanks for the ever increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. And as the children are coming forward, I just want to point out, you got a strip of paper, I think, as you came in. Did everybody get one of these? And if you didn't and you want one, raise your hand. And if you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want one because I don't know what it is. It is a place for you to put your spiritual questions. And next week, I will have not answers, because you have the answers, but I will have responses to your questions. So you can fill it out and give them to Mike as you leave. And this, of course, is Mike. And look who we have, kiddos.
We
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, guys. So in addition to celebrating Father's Day today, we're getting ready for the solstice. Summer solstice is coming. And so we made these beautiful sun catchers. And Millie likes to say there's no such thing as too much glitter. And so we had fun with the glitter. And we have lots of ideas of how you can celebrate the solstice on Tuesday. Anyone want to share? What's something you could do?
Make a sun catcher like these.
You could make a sun catcher like these, yep. Lots of glitter. What else could you do?
You could stay in the sun all day.
You could go swimming and spend time in the sun. You could watch the sunrise. You could watch the sunset. You could watch both if you were feeling really into it, right? What kind of food might you want to eat on the solstice? Yeah.
Fruit, because the sun gives us all the fruit.
What kind of fruit?
Like apples, watermelon, dragon fruit, kiwis, and more.
And more, yeah. That sounds great. So we're hoping you all have a blessed and abundant solstice and a wonderful Father's Day. Thank you.
Well, let's bless our children and Michelle together. Children, youth, and Michelle, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you. And now we invite you to join us in our prayer of protection, followed by our peace song. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is. I am divine. You are the love and the wisdom and the peace on earth right now. So let your light shine, have fun, and spread joy. Happy Father's Day.